Good morning YouTube. Today I'm going to go through a full body stretching routine with you. This routine is great if you want to improve your general flexibility and mobility, or if you just want to warm up before a workout, or if you just want to stretch in general. I'm going to explain all stretches from head to toe. If I tell you to hold a stretch, hold it for a minimum of 10 to 15 seconds. You can hold it for longer if you want, that'll really improve your flexibility, but it's important to hold them for at least 10 or 15 seconds. So before we start guys, make sure to go down below and turn on post notifications to make sure you never miss an upload. In this stretching routine, I use stretches I've taken from Kung Fu, ballet, gymnastics and other various sports. It's my own personal stretching routine and I think it works, and it's made me more flexible since I've started using it. So you're going to start off by standing with your feet together, arms down by your side, and we're going to start with our neck. Start by looking up and down. And make sure you're not doing this too fast. Make sure you're doing it nice and gently. Then we're going to look from side to side. Then you're going to try and touch your ear off your shoulder, but move only your neck, don't move your shoulders. Next we're going to circle our arms. We'll make sure you're keeping your arms straight and you're trying to touch your ear on the way around. And again, don't do this too fast, do it nice and gently. And backwards. With every stretch, make sure you're feeling the tension and the stretch itself. If you're not, slow it down, put more pressure on it or put more weight on whatever you're stretching, and when you can feel it, that means it's working. Next we're going to circle our shoulders. And backwards. Next we're going to stretch up and make sure you pull your ribs in, have a straight back, not a curved one. And then you're going to stretch down. And make sure you're keeping your legs straight, touch the floor if you can. If you can't, go down as low as you can and hold, but make sure you're keeping your legs straight and you can feel the stretch in the back of your legs. And you're going to do this 2 or 3 times. Okay, next we're going to do something called the Hindu squat. So you're going to keep your feet together, don't have them apart like a normal squat, keep them together. And you're going to point your knees outwards. Squat down as far as you can, keeping your head and your chest up and your feet flat on the floor. Then go back up, down, up, and do this 10 to 15 times. This will really open up your hips. Next we're going to stand in straddle. We're going to place our hands at the middle of our body. Hand that's at the top, you're going to turn your palm upwards. And the hand that's facing down, the palm is going to be facing downwards. Then keeping your arms straight and putting tension on your shoulders, you're going to keep your arms straight and count to 3, 2, 3 and switch your arm position. And while you switch your arm position, make sure you turn your hands as well so your palms are facing where they're supposed to be, and you're going to repeat this. With this stretch, it's important that when you do this motion, you inhale, and when you do this, you exhale. This will also teach you a correct breathing technique, and it will relax you even further than the stretch will. Next we're going to stand in straddle, touch the floor, count to 5, and once you count to 5, go down on one leg and straighten out the other leg. Make sure your knees are facing upwards towards the sky. Hold for 10 to 15 seconds. And go back to the middle. And then, because everything has to be even, we're going to go down on the other leg. And again, make sure your knee is facing upwards and you're pointing your toes. And go back to the middle. And repeat this a couple of times, guys. Okay, once you're done with that stretch, we're going to stretch out our wrists. So place your hands flat on the floor and make sure to stay up on your knees. Don't sit back on your heels like this. You're going to rock backwards and forwards on your knees. And make sure to keep your arms straight and put weight on your wrists until you can feel the stretch. Do this a couple of times, 5 to 10 times is enough. Then you're going to turn your fingers outside and rock sideways. Next we're going to turn our hands so our fingers are facing us. And make sure you're putting weight on your wrists. Make sure you can feel it. If you can't feel it, it's not working. Then we're going to turn our hands upside down and place them flat on the floor. Make sure you're keeping your arms straight and rock backwards and forwards. And then turn them in and rock sideways. Shake them out, roll them around. Your wrists will feel really loose after this. Next we're going to do what's called the cat-cow stretch. So you're going to sit in this position, make sure you have a nice right angle in your knees, your back is straight, and you're going to curve your back, inhaling while you do this. Hold for several seconds, and then you're going to curve your back, exhaling while you do this. Inhale. Exhale. And again, do this several times. Then we're going to lay flat on the floor, on our bellies, feet together at the back, hands underneath our shoulders, and we're going to push up, straighten out our arms, push our hips to the floor, drop down our shoulders, and pretend you're balancing a ball on your nose. From this position, we're going to go back onto our knees, slide our arms forward, and try to push our armpits to the floor. You can go backwards and forwards between those two positions several times. Next, we're going to sit with our arms straight behind us, and we're going to slide our body forwards until you can feel a stretch in your shoulders. And don't forget to point your toes and smile. Okay, next up, we're going to do our lunges. So, make sure your knee is directly above your ankle and slide your back leg backwards as far as you can and push into your front leg, and make sure your knee doesn't go past your toes. That's very important. Engage your core and try to keep balance. Then we're going to sit backwards, straighten out our front leg, stretch up, make sure your back is nice and straight, and stretch down on your leg, point your toes, and make sure you can feel the stretch in the back of your leg. Then of course we have to do the other leg. So again, knee above your ankle, slide your back leg as far as you can and push into it. Sit back. Okay, next we're going to do something that's called the butterfly stretch. You're going to grab your feet, pull them in as close to yourself as possible, and flutter your knees up and down like a butterfly's wings. That's why it's called the butterfly stretch. And do this gently, don't do it too fast. And then you're going to use your elbows and try to push your knees to the floor or as far as you can go until you can feel it. And then a little bit further. And again, flutter your knees up and down. Then we're going to try to touch our nose off our toes. And hold. Okay, after this we're going to sit in straddle. We're going to stretch right up. Make sure your back is straight, and we're going to stretch down onto one side. And make sure you can feel this stretch. If you can't, push yourself further. And it's very important that you keep your legs straight, point your toes, and make sure your knees are pressing against the floor. Then we're going to stretch up and stretch down on the other side. And stretch up once more and stretch down the middle. Go as far as you can, guys, and hold. It's really important that you push yourself. It might not look like it, but I'm pushing. I'm just not very flexible yet. Then bring your legs together into pike, and we're going to do a shoulder stand. Make sure to engage your core on this one. Point your toes straight up towards the sky. Use your hands for support if you need. You might not need it if your core is strong enough. Hold this for several seconds. Then, keeping your leg as straight as you can, you're going to bend at your hips and try to touch the floor behind you. If you can't, just go down as far as you can and hold. Then you're going to engage your core once more and bring your legs back up. Go as straight as you can. And you're going to roll back into pike. Next we're just going to roll around our ankles. Make sure they're nice and loose. Mine always crack, probably from BMX. And do the other one. Alright guys, and that's it, the stretch is done. As I mentioned, this routine is great before any physical activity or if you want to improve your flexibility and mobility. So I hope you enjoyed this. I'm trying to do different kinds of videos. I'm trying to mix it up a little bit on my channel. If you did, then make sure to smash that like button down below. Press that subscribe button if you haven't already. And as always guys, thank you very much for watching and I will see you in the next video. Peace!